I heard tonight was supposed to be about Isopanishad, so we're going to tell a story about Prabhupada and Isopanishad. Because I can remember, I can't remember which year, must have been 70 or 71, Prabhupada was teaching us Isopanishad mantras. And Prabhupada went to India with a big party of devotees, and they were traveling all over, and Prabhupada was getting different invitations. Finally he went to Surat. So you've probably seen the picture of the devotees chanting in Surat. The people put saris from one side of from one apartment building to the other to shade the street from the sun. They buried the devotees in marigold mala garlands. You've probably seen that picture. Huh? So, big reception was there. And in one of those pictures is a very wonderful god sister of mine named Kaushalya. She lives in Los Angeles. So, that time, Kaushalya, she joined the movement quite young, like 16 or 17 or so. So by the time she got to India, she wasn't very mature devotee. He was young and a little capricious. But Prabhupada was teaching Ishopanishad mantra. So one day she wanted to get some attention from Prabhupada. So she just came prancing up to Prabhupada and said, "Oh Swamiji, oh Prabhupada." I guess this is after that. "Oh Prabhupada, I know whole Ishopanishad mantras by heart." And Prabhupada saw she wanted some attention. He said, "That's nice." So you saw the pictures of Surat. That's in the city where there's so many distractions. There's cinema, there's bars, there's restaurants. But if you go in the village, there's nothing. People have nothing to do at night except listen to the grass grow. So foreign, this is old times, 1970, foreign Vaishnavas, this was a big deal. Thousands and thousands, like 70, 80,000 people came in this Pandal program.
Wow.
And this was in Gujarat, so Prabhupada was lecturing in Hindi. Suddenly he broke his lecture and he said in English, "And I have got one lady disciple, she can chant whole Isopanishad mantra by heart." And Kausalya went, "Oh my God, why did I ever tell him?" And then Prabhupada announced in Hindi that one of his lady disciples was going to chant whole Isopanishad mantra by heart. And Kausalya got up there, she looked out at 80,000 people, and she shut her eyes and just remembered Prabhupada and just, "Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate." And she went through the entire, I guess, what is 16, 17 verses? 18 verses. The entire 18 verses of Isopanishad. Prabhupada gave her the bal, the strength to do it. She chanted all 18 mantras, and then Prabhupada called her, and just like a grandfather with a granddaughter, he pulled her over the edge of the Vyasa into his lap and was rubbing her back like this. So this is, and I can remember in LA we were learning the. We didn't know about it. We were on our way to Rath Yatra. As I told, I lived in Boulder. I joined in Boulder rather. And Rath Yatra was coming up in San Francisco, but we knew Prabhupada was in LA. So we drove out to LA. And somehow we managed to arrive the first day that Prabhupada ordered them to play the Brahma Samhita prayers for Darshan Arti. I don't even remember, so long back, what we did before there was Brahma Govinda prayers. I have no idea what we did. I can't remember. Too far back. But just that day, and Prabhupada would come in the back of the temple and they open the doors and billows of incense would come flying out the doors, and Prabhupada paid his obeisance to Gornitai. Then there was a little onyx pillar with a platform on top with Charnamrit, and Prabhupada would take Charnamrit, someone would wash his hand. Then we just had little Radha Krishna. We didn't have the big Radha Krishnas, they just little brass Radha Krishna. Prabhupada would pay his obeisances to them, then he paid his obeisance to Jagannath, and he came back and he sat on the Vyasa, and he began to sing along with the tape. Govindam Hari Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Govindam Hari Purusham Tamam Bhajami. And as we watched, suddenly tears were streaming down Prabhupada's cheeks. And we felt completely embarrassed. We felt completely embarrassed at how, in front of mlechas such as ourselves, Prabhupada was exhibiting transcendental symptoms of ecstasy. We wanted to peel up the tiles in the floor and crawl underneath, And I heard when I was in Alatra just now, when they have Darshanartik, they play a tape of Brahma Samhita prayers, but you can hear Prabhupada singing. Maybe that was that day, I don't know. Huh?
Played at the Radha Govinda temple also.
Yeah. So maybe that was that day, but just tears were streaming. Then Prabhupada just went like this, and he made a big sniff. I can't do it, but very loud sniff. It was very loud. The whole room was vibrating. And then Prabhupada started like an old sea captain, swaying back and forth in a very deep, rich voice. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Ishavashamidam Sarvam Jatkincha Jagatam Jagat Tena Taktena Bunjitaha Magridaha Kasasiddham. And Prabhupada was rocking back and forth his deep voice, just like the sea captain, It was like we were on a boat. And Prabhupada was taking us across the ocean of Kali Yuga. It's very beautiful. Then we would learn another mantra, and then Prabhupada would go back to the purport and speak something wherever he left off in the purport. And after a couple of days, then we learn another mantra, and then we go back to the purport. Like that. So sitting here, I'm also remembering so many wonderful stories. Because when I was temple president of Portland, we had Mukunda. He was a householder. He was living nearby in Kelso, Washington, just across the Columbia River from Portland. It's in Washington State, and we were in Portland, in Oregon. So he told me how Prabhupada got run off the Bowery because that boy who let Prabhupada stay there, he let some other young hippie stay there, and one of them got too much intoxicated and threatened Prabhupada. So Prabhupada went to stay with one black devotee cleaver. What was his name? Karlapati. So Karlapati brought him to Mukunda Maharaj. Michael at that time. And it was Saturday morning, and they'd been, Mukunda was in a band, and just feeling the pinch of material success. It wasn't what it was cracked up to be. He was having a good time jamming with his friends, and now they had to play whatever the audience or whatever the guy who hired them, he had to play what they wanted and sign contracts and fight over the contract. And just feeling the pinch of success. And Prabhupada came in. He's just starting to come here to the Bowery, to Prabhupada's classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday night, Bhagavad Gita class. He's just starting to understand that Prabhupada's a spiritual master. So anyway, it must have been around 7 o'clock in the morning, which was, in those days, that was an ungodly hour, especially for Saturday. Saturday meant that we didn't even see 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock we start to open up our eyes. So suddenly he saw Karlapati and Prabhupada standing at the door, and he didn't know what to do, but he just started to understand Prabhupada's my spiritual master. So, he immediately invited Prabhupada, sat him down, and Prabhupada, seeing his bewilderment, said, "It is proper when spiritual master comes that you offer some fruit." So when woke up his girlfriend, please cut up some fruit. She later became Janaki. Then Prabhupada sat on the couch, and American culture means television. Even my mother had a TV in the ceiling so she could lie in her bed. And
Oh my God.
she's sound asleep with TV's going on. So immediately Kunda turned on the TV. They've sat down, so you turn on the TV. That's just American culture, And Saturday morning, so something like Mighty Mouse or something,
Mighty Mouse.
Sky King or something like that was on TV. And Prabhupada just looked and said, "This is nonsense." And Mukunda, in one motion, he jumped off the couch and turned off the TV. "Yes, Swamiji, this is nonsense." And the cat jumped on Prabhupada's lap and Prabhupada whack!
Oh my God.
So anyway, they were telling him that the dangerous situation there in the Bowery and that Prabhupada needed a place, Swamiji needs a place. And Karlapati kept saying, because Mukunda was like a leader in the group, he just had that quality that people looked up to him. And he kept saying, you have to do something, you have to do something, you have to do something. So what will you do, And Prabhupada turned, and you've seen how sometimes Prabhupada cocks his head like a swan gliding across the lake. And Mukunda told me, he said, I can shut my eyes, I can still see Prabhupada looking straight to my soul. And I had no idea what he was going to do. So I just said, yes, we'll do something, we'll look for a place, So then they found this place. And they brought Prabhupada here, and the landlord came. He's an ordinary guy, blue jeans, blue denim jacket, and, funny shirt, t-shirt, type of guy who drink beer and watch, baseball game all Saturday, But he saw Prabhupada, he's very respectful. He helped Prabhupada sit down in the chair. He kept calling him Your Honor.
Wow.
And in Prabhupada's presence, he became quite submissive. And the devotees were talking about Krishna consciousness, so he was just, in Prabhupada's presence, he was listening very politely. So it was like they thought he was receptive, And finally they said, and for $15 a month, you can become a member of our society. Prabhupada started thinking about life membership even back then. So he looked at the devotees and said, well, what if I knock $15 off the rent every month? So I don't know how much the rent was, but he knocked $15 off the rent. Then Prabhupada gave him those old red Bhagavatams that Prabhupada signed them and gave them to him. This ordinary American guy became very humble. He said, I'm not worthy to receive these things. No, Prabhupada said, you take. Gave him a set of those. And that's how this place came to be, 26 2nd Avenue, Matchless Gifts. And then, Prabhupada started his Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays Bhagavad Gita classes and so many things. Then Mukunda told a story about this place that Mott Street's crew started coming to the temple, Kirtananda and Haigriva and Umapati. And at that time there was, like now we have so many beautiful pictures and everything's nice and painted. It was just empty storefront. And the Mott Street crew had been to India, so they had all these things from India. So one day they got the idea that we're going to decorate the temple. So they came here and they had, bedspreads from, printed bedspreads from Rajasthan, they started hanging them on the wall, and they had posters from India. They started putting posters around on the walls and so many things like this. And then some of the other boys drifted in. It wasn't like there was an official ashram or anything, and people just came in and out. Some of the boys came in, and Prabhupada must have been speaking about Upanishad even then, because immediately they started, this was the first ISKCON politics. The other boys said, no, this is Maya. Swamiji says we just take the minimum, what's necessary. It's the Isavasha, this first mantra, Isopanishad mantra, Isavasha, whatever is necessary. We accept and reject everything. He said, no, we're decorating the temple for Krishna. No, this is Maya. Swamiji said we just take the essence, we just take the necessary. This is all unnecessary. He said, no, we're decorating this temple for Krishna. So first ISKCON politics. I guess Prabhupada was upstairs, he heard some commotion in the temple. He came down, everyone froze, Prabhupada walked in, and his eyes got very big, and he looked around, and he gave the verdict. This is Krishna consciousness. In the very, very old days of ISKCON, that was a very nice mantra. If somehow by accident we did something right, then Prabhupada would say, this is Krishna consciousness. In fact, the devotee who was my first temple president, he started a temple in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and they had and that was the sign over the door. It was a wood-burned sign. It said, this is Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada said, this is Krishna consciousness, decorating the temple for Krishna. So then he went around, he looked at some of the things were demigod pictures, so Prabhupada told them to take that down. And then there was one picture, they thought it was a cat or something. They couldn't figure out what it was. They didn't know what Swamiji was going to say. And Prabhupada looked, this is Harinama. He's a great devotee of cat. And somehow, they even had, though it's very difficult to find, especially those days, they even had a picture of Sadbhuj Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada's eyes got very big when he saw this. He said, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all the devotees looked at this guy with 6 arms. Prabhupada was speaking a little bit about Chaitanya Charitamrita in those days. And they just looked and saw this picture of Sadbhuj Mahaprabhu. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were, wow. So like that's how things got started here.